Episode 178 of the Blathering Live. I'm Napzok. This is Blathering Live. We are here Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays. You might listen a little bit later on the audio show. You might watch a little bit later on the YouTube show. Or you might be here live. You might be in chat. You might be a channel member. I'd love for you to be a channel member. If you're a channel member, you get to call in. Or if you're a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/catnapzok. There, for everyone who listens to me at 1.5 speed, I might have been 3 times as fast. Getting the business out of the way as people start to pour in here. One of those times where I'm not promoting shows. There's just this, I get that feeling. I don't have a problem with anyone promoting shows or their work. Be proud. In fact, that might be one thing I talk about in the opening of the show tonight. About with everything going on, you should still enjoy life when you can. You should still have some joy. You should still find the little hopes in your life. You should celebrate the things. Like last night, I had a torta cubana at Los Feliz, the Los Feliz night market. Holy moly, is one of the best sandwiches I've ever had standing over a trash can eating at this event. Take the joys. Take the joys. But, with a lot going on in the world, it's a little overwhelming. So we're going to get a lot of things tonight. I don't even have my little list out. I need my Dave Letterman cards. We will be talking some Game of Thrones. No science officially tonight. Addie's taking a much-deserved week off from her own schedule, by the way. Her own schedule. She dedicates her own time to 60 Seconds of Science, and she needed some time tonight. She'll still call into the show. We're going to have a little bit of sports, I do believe. We got events going on. It's all part of life. It's all part of the 360-degree life that we live, even in confusing times, tough times, challenging times, even with stuff going on in my own life. Still without a main job, still single, still without my dog here right now. That might change, but there's moments where I'm like, this hour feels great. And we've talked about that on the show before. I think that's for me. That was for me personally. But now when you look at the world, I think that's something to consider too. We're fighting for those joys. We're resisting for those joys. We're fighting for rights of others to have those joys. We are fighting for sanity to prevail, to just have those joys to get back to a, quote, normal. I would argue things have never been normal. If it seemed like it was normal in the past, it really wasn't. But yeah, that's on the docket tonight. I also might, these Letterman cards. I also want to talk about Superman tonight. The Superman trailer, the final trailer came out. It's not something I do, but I liked the final trailer. I like the teasers a little better if you're keeping score at home, but that doesn't matter. The feeling is there. So we'll talk a little bit here. I'll get producer Steve in on it too, just how I feel this might be the right time. And that is not a shot across the bow at Zack Snyder or Zack Snyder fans or fans of his version of Superman. I'm not wading into those waters. I'm not an expert in that field. In the past, I've probably on some podcasts saying, Superman's a little boring to me. That might have been me 12 years ago. I don't know. On an old Schmoes episode or something, I recall saying stuff like that because it seemed like the right thing to say during those times of the early movie pungency days. But now I'm here for what things mean. I'm here for what art is telling us. I'm here for what art represents. And I think this might be the right summer for Superman in the face of all of that. So that'll be on the line if my internet's working. I'm uploading some stuff. Spectrum went out today. I'll put 2 warnings out there. I think you're seeing my face okay. I think I'm alive. I think I'm streaming. There was a Spectrum outage. I'm on Spectrum Business Internet here in the LA area, the Burbank city limits, and that went out today. Then you all probably saw the news of the Google Cloud outage, global outage, which also took out Apple and Spotify. Dear God, we weren't able to stream music, so artists could get 0.3 cents on a spin, which, by the way, please do that. Moon Ager's got a new song coming out, by the way. Brian Tiller and I wrote a new song on Saturday, put the final touches on the lyrics and everything. So please spin it on Spotify and Apple so we can get that 0.3 cents. But that went out, and that actually affected Force Center today as well. So you won't have a Squirrel Center update. I actually have video of squirrels, but I got so behind because the middle of the Force Center recording, StreamYard went away because of the global outage of Google, which is scary. And this is why I know when some people have, whether it's the AI debate or anything going on, of just, when we're all beholden to technology, and we're all beholden to technologies of a few companies, it does kind of freak me out a little bit, because my entire day was actually kind of ruined business-wise. Force Center's recording. It's coming out. We have an audio version definitely coming out tomorrow. I'm downloading the video versions finally. I think I'm going to be able to piece it together. But that was going on. So I was like, all right, let me go out and do some work out there. Oh, no, I couldn't access Google Drive, where I write for Fandom and a YouTube channel called The Drive, and I do it all on Google Drive, and I send them a link. They don't even want a document anymore. Everything that I do, including this show, is put in jeopardy because of one outage. Everything in my life that is me, that is of me, and makes me money was put on hold. Slightly scary. Slightly scary when you look at it like that. You all check it in here. So I'll just say this. With what's going on. Talked about it on Monday. First, to reiterate, LA is not wildly out of control. The curfew in downtown LA is just that. It's a little tiny squibble of land in downtown LA. I also will argue this isn't a defense of the curfew. It's normal. This is the course of these things. Maybe it's because I'm old and slightly cynical. This is what happens. The protest starts. They get out of hand. Something happens. Someone burns a Waymo. Curfew's put into place. There's just this big difference now that we know going on with the National Guard here without the governor's approval. That whole everyone knows that. The Marines here, the Marines going, what the hell are we going to do here? The police not knowing about the Marines or not knowing what to do with it. There's all that stuff. That's the difference this time around. But everything else is kind of par for the course. On Monday, I talked about that. It's continued to play out that way. Then you got Ron DeSantis, by the way, reiterating that is in Florida, it's illegal, or it is now legal. If you're in a car and you feel unsafe by protesters, you can run them over. It's okay. You felt safe. Your life was in danger. Run them over. You got that hanging in the balance. We got the No Kings Day on Saturday. I'm currently planning to attend one. I won't say which one. But in the back of my public safety mind, I'm like, I don't know. But I want to be part of this. I want to feel I'm part of this. But I also feel we are all part of this in our daily lives. And that's why I can get overwhelmed. The conversations you have with your folks, even if it doesn't sway them, the conversations you have with your friends, your actions. We have a discussion coming out tomorrow about the Force in Andor and what the Force represents in Andor, and it spills out into a little bit of what the Force actually represents in Star Wars. It's not just about the Jedi. It's not about the battle of dark versus light. It is about doing what's right and not just doing what's right for you. And I think there's so many ways to reach that goal. I just do think we're reaching a time where maybe more needs to be done. But even then, I say that like a politician at a podium. More needs to be done. But let me go ahead and continue with this normal vote. Everyone's probably aware what happened to Senator Alex Padilla today. We'll probably go deeper into this on any time tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll have any more thoughts than I do now on it. It was a detention, but not an arrest. By the way, 17 years of public safety. I do know there is some legal recourse to say I put handcuffs on you for your safety just as much as mine. That's something I've done in the past. So that's a wiggle room to take. But we'd always train our officers. A detention, a stopping someone against their will, not having that question, hey, can I talk to you, versus hey, stop. That hey, stop is a detention. It's in a detention, technically, when you get down to the brass tacks, it's kind of an arrest. So if you don't, my boss used to always say, if you do that, arrest them. Figure the rest out later. Meaning, if you stop someone against their will and take away their civil liberties in that moment, and then you don't end up arresting them and completing the arrest, you're opening yourself up to a false arrest or some more legal problems down the line. That's what I dealt with for 17 years. So to hear today that first it was what looked like an arrest to me, but looks like it actually is two different things, I will say, from a public safety background. But then to say, no, he was handcuffed. He was put to his knees and handcuffed, and we didn't know who he was, and he was charging. It's all bullshit because we saw it all on camera. It's all on camera. This is in 1881. We're seeing this happen. All that to say, I don't have any much more to say on that, other than it's just hanging over everything today. This is a community-based show. We're going to do some silly stuff today. We're going to talk about sports. We're talking about Superman. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones. Jared's got a Game of Thrones question. We're going to take your calls and go where you want to go. Have a question, have a thought, have a take, get to it, okay? I don't want to have a 2-hour show again today. Sorry, that sound grumpy? I love y'all. Let's get to it tonight. Let's have some fun. But also, if you want to talk about what's going on in the sense of how you doing with all of it. It is overwhelming right now, which I know people will say that's the point. And people love quoting Star Wars, and they should quote Star Wars, because I quote Star Wars in this way. The thing in the back of my head this week, Star Wars is a story, at least in the 19 years between episode 3 and episode 4, of several rebel cells and peoples and government leaders coming together to form an army. They form an army and start the Galactic Civil War. When I look at this week, I'm like, that doesn't seem realistic, right? We got uniforms? Do we got X-Wings coming? No. But I don't know where to go from here. I'm not advocating that for violence, war, and anything like that. But you know what? This is what's on my head this week. This is more than just speeches. This is more than just rallies. This is more just a nice sign, high-fiving some friends, and then going to a diner for lunch, which I might do Saturday. It's more than that, but it's also on a daily basis. And what you do and say every day, I do think matters, and I do think it builds resistance. What is Ken proposing? Good job. Tully's not wrong. Whenever Ken cuts Blathering short, backstage gets longer. That is true. 9-hour backstage on the show this past week. In fact, to prove it, let's bring in producer Steve. 9-hour episode, Steve.
That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but we went too long. They were goading me into going 4 hours, and we almost got there.
Well, look, here's what I'll say. If the listeners of Blathering backstage, and what do we call the show? Steve's Romper Room? What are we doing?
I'll add that to the list. That's a good one.
If they're goading you, that means the audience wants it.
Give the people what they want, Ken. That's what we're about here. Give the people what they want. But no, 4-hour backstages are not going to become a regular thing. Please don't get used to that. I need sleep.
You are
I was a
married
zombie the next day.
Father.
Yeah.
I
got shit to do, folks.
Steve, I don't know if I don't even know what to say. This is a show where I want to leave myself the room to get as deep and angry as I want about the state of the world politics. Yeah. But as of this moment, I'm not any of those things. I'm all of those things, but I'm none of those things because I'm like everyone. I'm just looking at this every day. I'm looking at Kristi Noem, the dog murderer, saying we're here to liberate L.A. from its leaders and the socialists there. We've gone so far beyond parody that it's in dangerous levels. But I just right now, I don't know what to say, Steve.
I'm right there with you, Ken. We have interesting viewpoints, I think, on this. You being in LA, kind of being familiar with what's happening, the geography of what is happening. I'm outside the DC area, so I'm very much hearing a lot of the local news about the ins and outs of the swamp itself and the bullshit.
The parade? Are you attending the parade, Steve?
Oh yeah, the parade on Sunday. No, I'm going to be playing golf with my pop, but we will not be going. But I am going to be planning to do something for Saturday, just like you. So we'll see how that goes down. I don't feel comfortable going into the big one in DC, probably, but there's stuff going on locally where I am that I'll still be able to participate. But that being said, it shit sucks, dude. What's going on in your town right now is red line. People talk about red lines and crossing lines and all that kind of stuff. We crossed so many lines so far ago. Like it's so beyond that at this point. It really is just a matter of at what point are people going to have a negative look on just a complete disregard for law and what courts are saying and how they're going against these different judicial rulings and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that you just can't really trust anything on the friggin' news anymore, no matter who the source is. I mean, MSNBC got caught in 2 different snags, I think it was today, just being totally wrong. And I'm not one of those flag waving news media guys. Like I went to journalism school. I get the biz part of these things. I don't, check your sources is all I'm going to say. But it's disheartening, man. It sucks.
Well, yeah, one of the things, the Terry Moran being fired, everything, none of that's necessarily surprising. It's just what's going on. And when I say not surprising, I'm not like, shrug, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. But, I think one of the things on my mind, too, and watching a lot of stuff today, and hearing Kristi Noem, again, a known dog murderer,
Yeah.
Hearing her say we're not going away, and we're here to liberate Los Angeles from the socialists and these leaders is really scary to me, because I know personally a lot of people pumping their fists at that.
Right.
I know personally a lot of people are like, she is speaking for me. And I know personally a lot of people who see what's going on and just see protests, which equals riots, whereas in Paris it's a Tuesday. We're going to do that and then and probably fight and then have pizza and drink, and it's going to be, that's what we do. Here we view it as, oh dear God, which is weird because we're a country formed on some sort of revolution, I would think. But that's where I don't even know disheartened, Steve. But you know what I mean? Like, you're right. We all have those folks in our lives who are pumping their fists at these words that are being said.
Yep. Yeah, pumping their fists and not understanding the absolute. I mean, I don't even have the energy to do the whole hypocrisy argument at this point, because could you imagine if AOC was the secretary and was sitting there on a podium with troops behind her saying, we're going to liberate, you guys from the January 6th protesters and all this kind of, so like all that kind of rhetoric on the opposite side, people would be losing their absolute minds. You know what I mean? There isn't any perspective on just like looking at the bare, dude, we're talking about due process at the end of the day. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, like, I'm sorry, but just like that's where we are. Like, we're at such a low level that we're arguing due process. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like that's like saying 2 + 2 = 5. Like, it just doesn't make the Constitution's on fire, dude. It just is.
Yeah, and there is long been no reaching. I get that. I'm sometimes clouded by my own path, where I go through a big process. I go through a big change journey, so I want other people to have that as well. But this week has reminded me that we maybe just might be past that, and I have to face it. There's still I had an argument Saturday night with someone personally, someone who's actually mentioned in chat, that was disheartening to me as well, because it is equally as lacking solution. And that frustrates me as well. Sometimes, anytime you see me get real frustrated, that's because there's a lot of folks lacking solution, and that is equally as disheartening. And I don't know.
I totally understand people's frustration, and we've seen plenty of people that we both, I think, admire on social media and on different platforms put out their opinions on things, and they're not wrong to have those thoughts or opinions or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that, but it's just we have to both be realistic about what we can do and what we can bring to the table and what's going to affect change and like directing anger, right? And I'm be as mad as you want, like, you blow your horn, do it, because like you have to be heard, but like, let's funnel all that steam into something that powers an engine of change. As corny as that friggin' sounds, like, do something with it, right? Like, let's use that. Like, that's why I try to just my small, tiny little voice is just telling people, like, use the time you have online and all these, savviness that you find information, look at sources, ask yourself who benefits from this information being reported and getting to me ultimately. That's how you can kind of cut through bullshit. So that's but just direct your anger. That's my advice. Sorry, I'm ranting now, Ken. What are we doing?
No, well,
we're only 20 minutes in. I'm sorry.
Also, it would only have been cheesy if you said engine of change and then went choo choo. If you had made some sort of engine sound. No.
How many choo choos? Okay, this is an important question. I'm sorry, we have to go off. How many choo choos? Like, how many chuggas do you choo choo? I know this is kind of a cliche question, but like, are you a lot of chuggas?
If you're on the playground, chugga choo choo, chugga choo choo. I think 4 chuggas and 2 choo choos.
Okay. That's not a lot of chuggas, but okay, you're a short chugga guy.
Chugga.
I go like 2 beats on the chugga. Yeah, I'm like a chugga.
Oh, chugga. You're the engine.
Yeah.
You're the engine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you got to get like a couple of rotations in there, right?
Do you do that? Choo.
Well, not that slow. Well, that's we got to go places.
Are we impersonating a train?
No, it's just a rhythm thing, It makes the
Vermont Mike says 2. Vermont Mike says 2 each. Chugga choo choo. I think that's a fast train.
That is, but the choo-choos really hit harder when you have that build-up.
You got a fast train. Okay.
Addy has a great point. What is happening? I'm sorry. We were talking about something productive before.
No, we're talking about something serious, but that's my point too. Is I don't mind a little bit of rage that's not focused like a laser. It's to each their own. I just find it burns out fast for me. It burns out fast for me, and I just want to hear, great, then what's the solution that we all don't have? I don't have a solution. I don't have the solution.
I'm not trying to say I have answers either. Get your rocks off. But Yeah,
I've just run into a lot of folks lately, and it infuriates me. And you all out there don't want to see me mad in real life. Trust me, you don't want to see me mad in real life. You don't, and it infuriates me. Someone this weekend really infuriated me because their thing is it's all been bad. Great, so let's all fuck off then and jump into a river, and swim out to sea and not worry about any of it. Then I want to worry about it, and I want to know what to do. And we all maybe need to come to a consensus on that, if that makes sense.
Good luck, dude. We can't come to consensus on anything. That's why I think aliens are one of our best bets, because we might still be able to rally around the aliens.
Do you love... All right. We're going to transition out of that stuff.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to totally take us off the rails.
No, because I was pissed off. I've been infuriated this weekend with people around me and in my orbit because of this thing. It's beyond serious. We're seeing it. We're seeing exact scenes from Star Wars. I just rewatched the Mothma speech episode today from Andor, just because I kind of wanted to see the speech. And then the senator from Gorman being arrested is just like it's like a side by side, beat for beat. Like it's insane how real that was. And I just I don't know, Steve.
Woosah. Don't get me started on the senator thing. I can't do a whole because this isn't any time. I don't want to take you and Olden's thing. I'm not going to go all political on you for 20 minutes. I did my piece, but Serenity Jane makes a great point in the comment that I just want to say, you hate confrontation, but you hate what is going on. That is why things like that are going on Saturday are a great opportunity for you to just, again, these are going to be peaceful protests. You go out, you show that you're there, add your voice, and you can feel like you have taken a step towards doing something, and that's all we can ask for. Yeah,
and I went to the 5050.1 website, the people kind of behind the No King's Day, and they're doing, I think, their due diligence to say what this is about and what they believe in, and that includes nonviolence. Yep. There's always going to be reactors, and again, tear gas comes at you, the rocks. It's not, unfortunately, not new. So that could happen at the bigger locations. That's why I'm not going to tell anyone where, but I'm going to go to a smaller location. Yep. It's all there. It's all there. But here's where you took my mind. Aliens. Scotty says aliens are bomb bad. We all know aliens aren't real. But in every story, in every motion picture, when aliens come to Earth or aliens arise from the oceans, isn't it funny that most of the stories begin with this worldwide peace? Everyone comes together for the threat that is coming from without. And the older I get, and the more this world rolls on, or the more I study Game of Thrones season 8, or Game of Thrones all seasons, I realize it's such bullshit. If the aliens land and they start attacking, I think Putin will side with them. I think he'll try to make a deal. I'll launch nukes at America if you take out Europe. Aliens,
right?
I think that's I want to see that story now.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the aliens would even really care at that point. I don't think they're going to necessarily need any help. You know, if they're showing up here all guns blazing anyway. You know what I mean? But you're totally right. I would expect all the world leaders would just be pulling the ladders up, and making deals as quick as they could, not necessarily all rallying together. Because you're right, they're not going to. We haven't really seen that happen before. Hell, we had a worldwide pandemic that shut the world down, and the animals took things back for about 2 weeks, and that was about it. You know what I mean? And
you're right. That is the aliens that invaded the Earth. That is it right there. And the lack of collective empathy. It was not surprising, but talk about not being, because we all were like, this is like Outbreak. This is like this. Well, this certainly wasn't like an alien invasion picture. Or as one of my favorite moments in Independence Day is Jim Pittock as the British military leader. Like, what are the Americans doing? What are they doing? They're saviors. Like, I just left that movie through the lens of America. So there you go.
But
Tully brings up a good point. This is why the Vulcans waited until Earth's factions destroyed themselves in World War III. Tully's right. The Vulcans had it right.
Yeah.
All right. You want to get to some calls?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I got to get to this guy first because he's calling from the UK, and I know he gets grouchy if we keep him up past the King's midnight. All right. So let me make sure I got the right setting. And welcome to the show, rockstar himself, Matty Gunner.
I am the king, so therefore it's past the King's midnight when I say it is.
King's midnight. Did we just create something new, Matty?
I think we did. The King's midnight. That sounds kind of cool, actually. That sounds like a Game of Thrones kind of spin-off.
I got to tell you, if Jared ever considers changing his band name, maybe there's reason to. The King's Midnight, that's a great punk rock band. Or a gothic metal band.
That is very goth. Yeah.
David points out it's
house kind of.
David points out it's 1:30 a.m. past the King's Midnight, but
yeah. Well,
what's on your mind, Matty? What's on your mind? What's your question?
I just called to talk to you, man, and just ask what the hell is going on over there right now. Can you make some sense of this to me?
No, I can't make sense of it. No, I think what's going on is a massive amount of lines drawn in the sand that have been being slowly etched since since our country was formed. I don't know. I think it's the more I study history, the more I have fun with it, and I'm not a history expert. The more I just watch docs and everything. I keep coming back to this point, Matty, that even from when we broke with you and why we broke with you, which was probably a bunch of religious nuts being cast aside and starting over here. More on that to come, baby. It's just a straight line, and everything is so connected in a way that wasn't taught to us as a kid. I brought up this example either on this show Monday or maybe Force Center or whatever, one of the 19 fucking shows I have. I don't know. But being raised to think of World War I and then World War II and then Vietnam, right? That's when I was a kid in the 80s. Those were the things. Korean War was a great sitcom. We didn't think much about it, even though there was many people that died in it. Grenada was this side little thing, but all these little skirmishes. You can occasionally make a joke of the War of 1812, but you had all this, Civil War, World War I. They were each into their own, right? There were these little bundles of a couple weeks in your school. I wish I could go back to me, and maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the idiot. I'm sure there were some scholars who've long been trying to. George Lucas was trying to tell us this with Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, that it's all connected. It all comes down to the powerful and the powerless. And it is this ongoing story of those trying to grab power, those trying to do a little good with their power, those they're being overwhelmed by the others, and bad decisions leading to bad decisions. Vietnam, we look at it as 64 to, 73 when the fall Saigon happened around there, 73, 74. But Vietnam started in 1946. Vietnam started with the French already being there as colonizers. It started with Russia and the Cold War. It's all just spread out, and it goes forward and it goes back, and it's all connected. So even what's going on this week, Maddie, even the culture wars here in America. Joseph brought up, unfortunately, the other day, the Hays Code, which I want to go into on so much more detail. The Hays Code, which comes up here, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Someone out there help me with the dates on it, and puts all these moral limitations on art in America. And because of that, that creates this false sense of normalcy, this false sense of 2.5 kids, this false sense is this is what is proper, and this is what is ordained by God, and this is what we should expect. And it is not until we start breaking away from that we get to maybe some real art. Now, there's art all the way through that, blah, blah, blah. But that just made me think about we're dealing with that as we got these fucks out there, wearing these red hats trying to make America great again. That's often the era they talk about, and it was fraudulent from the start, right? It was fraudulent then. This Kristi Noem using the word socialist, that's thrown at me a lot too, of just the great boogeyman, the great enemy. And communism and socialism, like any system, can be hijacked by powerful people, as it was in Russia, as it was in the Soviet Union, as it might have been in China. All those things, like you can hijack any system and turn it for bad. That's what I think George is talking about with organizations, with unions and teachers and Jedi orders and government systems. Anything that has a good intention can still be hijacked by power. And I think you asked me what's going on this week. I think it is just this next another dangerous chapter in this ongoing story that I don't know where it leads to. Does it lead to Iran launching nukes, is Putin starting World War III? I don't know. I honestly, I wear this Ukraine hat because I honestly think World War III has started in Ukraine. I think that'll be the one of the things history will mark. Our episode tomorrow on Anytime is called "The Battle of Los Angeles." The title of that is Alden and I were talking about. It was like, I just think, if we actually do have Civil War 2.0, this might be the Battle of Lexington and Concord. This might be the first battle that we think of when we look at the history books. That's what's going on this week, Maddie. That, and I had one hell of a sandwich.
We'll get to all the important stuff, but what was in the sandwich? I mean, not that wasn't important, but like, what was in the sandwich?
It's important because the joys are important, Maddie, right? And you know what was important? We went out to this thing, the Los Feliz night market, and for those keeping score at home, that's how you say it because it was named after someone. That was their name. Not Los, but Feliz. This little night market, and 10 vendors selling food, 10-ish vendors. 9 of them brown. Nice, wonderful, loving brown folks that are currently under attack. And they were out there fearlessly serving food. I don't know their conditions. I don't know their situations. I don't know their papers because none of it fucking matters. No. Other than these talented, wonderful, loving humans who try to make a living, we're serving amazing food. It was great to go out there with my friend Owen and his son Jack to kind of just sit there and take in what is Los Angeles and what it's about. And everyone in the area, all different kinds of faces enjoying the food going on there. And I had this Cubana. I'm saying it like a white man. But it had salted like pork, real salty but lovely. It had like hot dog, it had like ham, it had an egg, it had pickles, it had tomatoes, it had lettuce, it had cheddar cheese, it had onions, this great sauce, and it was hard. I had to eat it with a fork, Maddie. I had to eat it with a fork and make love to it in public, and it was a great sandwich, and I enjoyed it because that's what we're fighting for.
Beautiful. That sounds incredible. Yeah, I gotta say I'm actually pleasantly surprised with what I'm seeing. The amount of, especially young people that are getting out there in the street right now, I think.
Yeah, you always look to the future. But again, it can dishearten. Just before I got online, checking ground news, and there's a story. I didn't click on it. Didn't have time to jump in the stream here, but I think only a third of Americans approve of the protests. Right? You see that, and that's bullshit. It's I was even watching a local KNBC call them out. I was watching them report on the aftermath of one of the first big waves of the protests over the weekend, the one that ended with the Waymos being burned, which I still contend is hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
They were interviewing people and good citizens who've been here for 50 years who were just doing the whole, like, I don't understand why they did this. I don't want anyone taken off the street, but why? Why do you have to burn our communities? Which overall, I get the point, but they were specifically picking 3 or 4 people who had those things to say to put out this narrative that the protests had gone bad. I don't know what KNBC, the local NBC affiliate here in LA, was trying to do with that. I mean, you could guess, we all could have our theories. But I was watching this, and I'm like Steve, too. I wouldn't call myself pro-big media, but I think media is pretty important. I think we could agree. That's why we have some frustrations with it. That's why we have frustrations with Terry Moran. That's why it's the first thing to go. But that, and again, throwing it to Star Wars, to watch the episode post the Gorman massacre, which highlights news reporters talking about the Gormans essentially doing this to themselves, and the Gorman issue as opposed to the imperial stormtrooper issue and the imperial military issue and the government issue that the Gorman massacre actually was. To see that and then to watch this story on a local news affiliate going, like sad. There were sad people sweeping up. No one will come sweep up our community. This is horrible. And that's not the feeling. That's not the vibe. That's not the general feeling. That causes people to not want to go protest. Yeah. And to watch it unplay in a local news affiliate was not eye-opening, but it was like, here's where we're at.
I mean, it's even on, well, I won't name names because this isn't, my channel, but you've got arguably these biggest streamers, YouTube channelists, whatever you want to call them, arguably one of the biggest ones out there, actively saying, these protesters should be killed. These protesters should be, arrested, taken off, dragged off the streets. There was the video of the guy getting beaten by the guard, CHP, CBP, whoever it is. And he was saying, yeah, that's it. Saying that he deserved it. And I was just like, why are you advocating this? What are these people actually doing? They're destroying property. Okay, cool. Look at the grander scheme of things. Yeah. And you're advocating for people to be killed, hurt, arrested over property damage. And not only that, but where are you? You're doing this from the comfort of your home. You're not out there in the streets with these people. Yeah. What are they doing? Causing a little bit of civil disturbance.
It's very European of you, and I love it. Very European. Because it's easy to sell, and it is what has been drilled into us for a long time in this country, which again, the amount of people who have 1776 tattooed on their fucking foreheads who are going to tell you about these dirty protesters doing violent things for no reason. Put January 6th on the shelf. An insurrection based on lies and just being grumpy about an election to a dangerous degree. Put that on the shelf. I don't even need to talk about that. But it's just, it is the line that is sold. I understand being upset, but why do you have to do that? When stuff was going on in Paris in 2023, I was having a conversation with someone who was just like, but why do they're burning that poor business? It's like, yeah, you know, if it was a small business in your life's work, I've seen those stories and I can support you on that. It was a giant corporate office.
Yeah.
Shed no tears.
They're going to be all right.
Office. Shed no tears for Waymo. Shed no tears for Waymo and the 5 driverless cars that are burning. Hilariously, I will add again. I love that. But it is part of what is drilled into us with the histories and the incidents that have been, you know, all through history. Kent State, the DNC in 1968. It is the damn dirty hippies stepping out of line, hating our country, and it's never on the issues, right? That's why we lionize this version of Martin Luther King Jr., this postage stamp version, and then we cut off his quotes. We don't do it as much anymore because, thank God, we have some actual knowledge out there. But we cut off his quotes right when it starts to get real, and we keep it at the bumper sticker inspiration. That was handed down to us generation to generation. And I do, as much as I sometimes can say, as I said at the top of the show, can get grumpy at those who aren't providing me with even a thought of solution. They're just pointing out what's wrong. That's just me personally, but I do have faith that that's why we always turn to the generations behind us, Maddie. That's why generational exchange and generational change is tremendously important. And that happens. Even a young buck like you compared to me.
Well, I'm getting to that point now where, you know, I'm mid-30s. I've got young nieces, young nephews.
You're still young, Maddie.
A little bit. I've got a little bit of spry youth left in me. So
yeah, you do. Okay.
It's just kind of like, what are we handing down to them? And I see little cracks of, I guess, pinpricks of light, whatever you want to call it. Hope.
Always
all that good stuff. But
always find them.
My thing is just remember when you're seeing these news, when you're seeing saying, oh, LA's a war zone right now, remember who is saying these things and think about why they are saying these things.
Yes.
And
these are the same people that told you they're eating the dogs and the cats in the street, chowing down on them like snacks at a baseball game. These are the same people. Maddie, thank you for checking in. And as Jared says, the music keeps us young. So keep going with your music, okay?
Not my music, the way I be jumping off of stuff. My back is killing me.
Be careful. Be careful. Okay. Thank you, Maddie.
All right, brother.
All right, Maddie Gunner, check it in there. We're all over the place tonight. See, Tully, I just, you know what it is? I just imagine those Waymos, and you know, I like B2Emo, Cassian, but I just imagine those Waymos, Steve. We got a call to pick up humans. Let's go. Oh no, I am on fire. Fire. I can't take anyone's job anymore. Like that's what I think.
I was gonna say no. Don't think of the Waymos as like the cute, like cuddly kind of droids or robots. Think of them as like the Imperial, like, you know, like the real brainwashed ones, right? Like the BB-9E kind of ones. Like,
okay.
Because it would be really funny if we just kind of went like Wild West on the robots. Like imagine if we just had fair open season on, like, if you saw a robot in the wild, you have every right, because they're taking your jobs, right? You have every right to just fuck it up if you want. But the robot can defend itself legally. But if you can fuck it up, Fair game. Like that. This is part of the thing that the billionaires have to do to figure out robots. It's like, well, you know what? Here's the social contract we're going to sign, folks. The robots have to defend themselves from us, but the robots can also defend themselves. But we'll find some legal middle ground here. But I just want to see like a little robot going across like a jaywalk, and some dude just go up to it and just like kick the shit out of it, and it gets hit by a bus.
Mind you, Steve's from Philly, where that nice robotic hitchhiking droid was murdered.
This all reminded me of the hitchhike bot.
The rest of the world says, hitchhike bot, here's love, necklaces, please pass my love to the next. Philly's like, fuck that hoagie, let's kill it. Let's kill it like it's a Phillies championship day parade. I love that. So view the Waymos like Cylons?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. But even that is the genius of the reboot in the early 2000s, flips the head a little bit on the old Cylon conversation. So, plus number 6. All right, let's do. I've met Tricia Helfer. She's a wonderful, wonderful human being. All right, let us go ahead and so we got a new Jared. Well, not new. What do I say? We got a returning Jared. I'd like to bring him on because I don't know what the hell he's doing here. All right, he's just showing up. Let's bring Jared the Dark Jedi on. Jared the Dark Jedi, what the hell are you doing here? What the hell are you doing here?
Well, what else would I be doing here?
I don't know. I'm glad you're here. That's my point.
I'm glad you're here. You've said anything I would actually have to say about the protest, so I'm glad all of that has been said because
cool.
Again, like I said before with the Olympics boxing horse shit, the party of fuck your feelings is now the party of, well, she just deserves to win. It is the party of January 6th and 1776 will commence again is now the party of civil protest somehow. Either way, not the point.
Yep. What's on your mind though?
It brings me great joy to hear your face turn on Superman.
Oh, okay. Lovely. And Steve, jump in here too. I knew you watched the trailer. Yeah, and I'll say, look, as I always say, but for those who might be listening or jumping in, like I didn't grow up with superheroes, grew up with Star Wars, grew up with some sports, grew up with some other things, grew up with Robotech. Superheroes, I don't know, Jared, they just didn't connect with me, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to get a lot of comics. I didn't have a lot of money, so I focused on G.I. Joe, that kind of thing. So I didn't grow up with them. And then I get into the movie talk world, and, I liked Nolan's Batman. I did, right? And I still do. And so I got sucked into that's more adult and this and that, and Marvel's a little more kiddie. I am so far away from that, obviously. I get mad when people say that about Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it was just, you know what I mean? Because you used to listen before you contributed, right? You've got your own shows, you've got everything going on right now. But back then, we felt that was just the thing to do, to nitpick, fight, and make fun of. And Superman, for me, got caught up in that. And I'm so far removed from that now, and I'm happy to be here.
I mean, in the same way that you have said, that a lot of our friends have said, that Andor kind of had this, for good or ill, like cosmic perfect timing to, be this like shot in the arm of like, feel the urge to fight, feel emboldened, to go to the mat, and, all of the Gorman parallels happening in Los Angeles, and all of that stuff. I think that Superman is kind of like the chaser to that shot, where it's like, be like, have a Luthen rail, ready to swing on somebody, but also like have that hope to not to do the tagline, but look up at something.
Hold on. Jared's a shill. He's working in the tagline, Steve. He's working in the tagline.
It's perfect. But I think it is like also in its own way, like in the same way that we got Gorman right before all of this happened, and Gorman is what's going on in Gaza is happening. Right. I think there's something really poignant about taking this Lex Luthor and really leaning into what I think makes him a compelling villain, with this whole idea of this billionaire who feels scorned and feels unloved by the people whom he thinks he should just by default have some type of, fetal loyalty,
have their love, right? Have their love. I should have their love.
And, I think that Batman v Superman, a movie I have mixed opinions on to this day. I think I like it more than most people. I get shit for that, and maybe deservedly, but I'm also the same guy who defends Wild Wild West in public. So what the fuck do I know? Why did I take this on the podcast?
Hey, look, I'll go to the mat over dirty work. I'll go over the mat over dirty work. No, I would to stop in there, to jump in there too. Like I have not seen all the Batman v Superman. I've not seen all that stuff, and the first Superman decade ago, whenever that came out. Like I have friends who love that film. I that's why I go out of my way to say I've got nothing to say against Zack Snyder. His fans might be a different conversation, and we know the types. If you're not that type, I'm not talking to you. But to your point, Jared, like I think that's also part of it too, where there's sometimes this big swing to, well, that sucked, and then someone like you comes along and be like, well, actually I found some things I like in it here. Can we talk about that? No, because if you do, you're siding with Snyder. And it's just like,
have you seen Batman v Superman? You haven't?
I have not seen it. I've seen the clips I've needed to see for shows that I was on.
Fair. So like Jesse Eisenberg's take on Lex Luthor is like very clearly Mark Zuckerberg coded. That it's like, look at this, bajillionaire tech guy who is like profoundly detached from humanity in a way that's, kind of chilling, down to they cast the guy who played Zuckerberg in the movie.
Yes.
And I think that in some ways that movie was kind of ahead of its time of going like, yeah, Lex Luthor is the ultimate like Malthusian tech bro. Especially in the 21st century. And I really love the direction you're taking it with Nicholas Hoult, because I think, again, like it's hard to look at this Luthor and not see it as like the ultimate synthesis of Trump and Musk, and being able to have that as our central villain while also just being so just gushing from the pores with hope and optimism and, that sense of just community that, there's something to rally behind. With Superman, that's why he's such a great character. Is that he's the hero the other heroes look up to, and that's what makes him great. And I think having that right now is really beautiful. And I'm happy it gives you something to look forward to, especially as somebody who wasn't really into Cape shit.
Yeah, not into Cape shit unless it's Krennic, and even then I'm rooting against him. Or Lando. I should say Lando because he's a good Cape guy. Yeah, no, absolutely. I was also in the post Collider world, for me personally, I just turned away from a lot of that stuff. It brought me no joy, and that had nothing to do with the product. It had to do with some of the circumstances and people around me at times. And so it's like, that's my natural reaction to those things.
When you work at Subway, you never want to eat a sandwich after you quit.
Exactly. I've known Disney castmates who are like, fuck Disney and the joy there. And I get it, right? I get it. So I just was I saw it, the first teaser came out, and I think I just saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I went, oh, that's fun. But that second one came out, and then I rewatched the first one. And obviously, me being currently separated from my dog had a lot to do with the tears about crypto. But I just picked up on what they were putting down. And I don't mean to sound like a hip, unhip dad dropping a catchphrase there. But I got what they were going for, and it is exactly what you described. We'll see how it plays out. Whether or not it's the greatest movie of all time, it doesn't need to be. And I hope people pick up on what Superman represents. I certainly don't think there's going to be one Superman that comes down and saves our day. But I think we're all saying cheesy things here tonight. Steve, Maddie, you, now me. We all could be Superman. And who are you going to be Superman for?
That's the core of it, man. Like, people love to talk about how, like I think the core thing that separates Marvel from DC and their characterization is that Marvel heroes feel like what it would be like if some guy got bit by a radioactive spider, and the heroes of the DC universe are like aspirationally mythic. And even the unpowered ones. And that's exactly it. Like, be more like Superman and the world would be a better fucking place for it.
Might be. And to answer Detective McCarsel's question, wait, is Kat actually considering seeing a movie in the theater? Yes, I have applied to a bank to get a loan to afford the ticket and food, but I'm going to try to see Superman in a theater. Not the opening weekend. I don't do opening weekends unless it's a Star Wars-y thing. Then I have to be, and I can't miss it because spoilers and podcasts. I'll probably go a Monday or Tuesday afterwards and see if any of my friends in the local area code want to go, but I'm looking forward to it. Jared, I appreciate your insights. I appreciate you being here. And love you, man.
Love you, man. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Jared the Dark Jedi, everybody. Jared the Dark Jedi. Check out the Nerd Academy podcast too. Steve, where are you at with this trailer?
Okay, so I watched it before right before the show, and well, first of all, when Jared said that was the core of it, I really thought he was going to go. That was the corny, like that was the corniest of the three things. That like I was so sure I was about to laugh my ass off because I would thought for sure he was going to grill you for that for the saying we could. But you're right, Ken. But that is totally the corniest of the three things that have been said. Just for the record, I was going to say you win, but I didn't want to step on you.
Oh, okay. That's fair. No, that's fair. No, it's okay. A little corny. I love being, I think, you know what? I think to be hopeful, you have to have a little bit of cheese in you, Steve. Okay.
Absolutely.
You just got to be a little bit Steve. Cheese.
And that's what I was saying before in the chat. And I didn't mean to be all caps. I'm doing some shit here. It's okay to like stuff. Like, I hate that we, especially around here, it's like you have to apologize for like liking things like especially like whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Game of Thrones, like you have to put all these qualifiers on why you like. It's like it's bullshit. Just let people like shit. Like get the fuck out of here.
And that's where I get with music too, and I think I've explained some of my turns of corners in music loving where it's like if the song and the groove moves you, I don't care if it's Mambo number 5. I don't care. I don't care. If you like it, it moves you. And you're reacting to it, let that be. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing. And yes, I think there's some things that are executed poorly, and I think some of the things I love aren't 100%, aren't home runs. That's not the point of it here, man. That's not the point of it. And we can have those discussions, but I run into so many people. So many people I've run into my real life, parties where that's why I always talk about the fictitious parties I attend in my life when on Force Center, when I talk about things at parties. It's like people just go so far out of the way to not understand the things they don't like as movies or TV shows, and then to insert their own desires into it above what is there. They get so far removed of it that it's like then someone like me who comes along and goes, oh yeah, no, I love Solo. God damn it, that's a fun movie, and it's an important movie, and it's political. And all they can do is look at me and go, you're wrong. Or the thing that sets me off, that my fists kind of curl, is I respect your passion, but everything after that is what will go into the report as what started my fight with them.
Right, because it should just be, I'm going to disregard everything you just said because I want to tell you my opinion anyway. Because that's really what they're saying. But I totally agree. I think the way that people criticize things is they take it not only too personally, but just like it's okay to. There's differences between liking and good. Good is also not always totally black and white. Like
I feel, and I've decided to. As I move on, 2025, and dear God, it's almost 2026. I think I'm going to be open to talking a little bit more about my time at Screen Junkies and Collider in ways that won't get me in trouble legally, about where I was during a lot of that time. And a lot of it was watching the world change around me, watching politics race up to face all of us. It was always there, but now it was beyond just politics. It was truly life. It was social. It was important. And to watch all of it kind of collide, and just to watch the world that me and several others, I'm like number 98th on the depth chart. And there's a bunch of other people, but a lot of this large group, this industry that popped up, and that gave me a career, that gave me important people in my life, gave me some money for a bit. It damaged discourse, even when it was intended to be fun. Most of movie fights was intended to be fun. I always contend it should have been a lot sillier. But it became so serious and taken so seriously, just like any channel that's like, ding, that's a sin, or pizza rolls, and here's our bad take and our misunderstanding of a movie we're tearing down because we start from a negative point of view. It destroyed discourse. It destroyed the ability to appreciate art. It erased so much joy, and I have regrets for that. And maybe that's part of why I want to go light fires of joy in people.
Well, I'm gonna say don't light any fires because you don't need to catch any arson charges right now for where you're at with everything. Just saying, I don't want to be that guy, but just looking out.
I have a fire pit. If I want to light things on fire, because I do love lighting things on fire.
Okay,
Steve.
Controlled burns. I
got the fire pit. Oh,
okay,
I love playing games. I'll stack up the wood, put a little starter fire, and I'll see what corner burns first. I'll race the corners. Who's gonna get to the center first? Which flame's gonna keep going? I might have a problem.
Are you a log cabin or a cone guy? When you stack your wood,
cone.
You're a cone guy.
Cone guy.
Interesting.
Cone guy.
Okay.
The real person we need to talk to about is Laserbolt. Laserbolt, you got to call in. and
Right.
tell us the best way to light a fire. All right, you ready? What is the hell is down below there? Did you put that there?
What did I put? What where?
Oh, you don't have admin power anymore.
No.
What is this?
What are you accusing me of? I'm just sitting here. What is what? I don't see anything.
You don't. All right, I don't know what this is. What is this?
When you call Ken an inspiration, he talks about what the hell is that?
It's Kingsport Cal.
Kingsport Cal did
You putting artwork in? This is from the night he called in. Is that Fife Bakuga? Brett there. I remember. I don't have that shirt anymore. I don't fit in it anymore. Okay, that's what it was. Good job, Cal. Well, good
Buttons
job,
all the way
Cal.
down.
We'll button. Yes, Steve.
Buttons
all the way down. All right, let's call. We got Addy, we got Jared. Oh, Cal's not ready. Not ready for Cal yet after that trick. We don't have.
I always
science
put
tonight.
Cal last too. I've learned we always put Cal last at the end of the show because he's the best cleanup hitter in the game. So
He is.
you gotta give
He is.
him the room to go.
He's a main eventer. He's a main eventer, as we'll say in wrestling. Let's bring it. Let's see. Addy, want to bring it? Addy, we got to talk to Addy. She's got a night off. So what's on Addy's mind? That's what's important for us tonight. Addy, are you there? Addy, are you there? Addy, are you okay? Are you okay, Addy?
I knew he was gonna do that.
Are you okay?
Sorry,
Are you okay, Addy? Addy, are you okay? Are you okay? Okay, I'll stop. How are you?
Oh, Ken, that's a loaded question, but we'll skip
Fair.
it. How are you?
Okay. I'm okay, right? Like I'm okay. Like I'm trying to hold on to that. You know?
Good.
So hold on to that, Addy.
Okay. So
What's on your mind? Yes.
yes, we have no science tonight. Science has blown up. There is no more science. It's fine.
Science is gone.
Um,
Yay! We won. Science is gone, Steve. We killed it. No more vaccines.
Think of all that money that the government is going to save now and now spend
Yes.
on, I don't know, tanks for Trump's parade. Damn it, Ken, I'm sorry. I'm going back in my box.
But no, Addy, we're happy we're happy you're here. We don't need the science. We want science, but we're glad you're here. So what's yeah?
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I messaged Ken earlier, but for the sake of the audience, my science personally has sort of blown up in my face, metaphorically, I should add, because it could be a literal thing.
Yeah, your beaker didn't explode. You just okay.
And I just did not have the time to devote to reading and understanding and digesting the science headlines for you all.
Steve, hold on, Addy. Steve, why are you laughing?
Because I'm just imagining Addie works with like Beaker in the background. Like Addie's sitting there at her desk, like doing shit, and Beaker's just in the background causing havoc. Shit is blowing up.
Yes.
Steve,
and Addie's like, Speaker, stop it.
I'm so
Steve.
sorry. I'm shutting up now, I promise.
Steve, that is sometimes what it feels like when my undergrads are in the lab.
See? I wasn't off base, Steve.
That is.
Do you
sometimes
work?
what
Do you
it's like.
do you work with a Benson honeydew?
I am Benson Honeydew, Ken.
I don't accept you as Benson honeydew. I don't accept that. You're your own character. You're your own Muppet.
Oh, I've always wanted to be a Muppet. Okay. Anyway, to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a story for you that will lead into a question, and I promise to try and keep it brief.
Okay.
So earlier today, I was dealing with the science and the science not working and trying to figure out why the science isn't working.
Okay.
And I was dealing with Sir Kristen Cole, who
Sir Kristen Cole.
loyal listeners of the Backstage and of other shows will remember that Sir Kristen Cole is the name of my instrument. Because
Yes. I for a second I had to remind myself of that, Addy. So I'm glad you reset glad you reset the table.
Science instrument. Let's be very clear. Science instrument.
for context, Sir Kristen Cole is beautiful. He looks lovely on the outside, and I frequently want to punch him in the face.
That's fair.
I was tending to Sir Kristen, and I was in the lab, and there was the recent graduate working on a project in the lab next door, And I said something, I talked to Sir Kristen while I'm working on him because I'm convinced that the robots have feelings, and one day in the uprising, I want to have been nice to them. And I said something like, Sir Kristen, like, you've got to do this now. And he just, the student popped his head in and he was like, what did you just call it? And I was like, it's Sir Kristen. I named it Sir Kristen Cole. And he was like, wait a minute. You're a House of the Dragon fan?
Okay.
And so my question tonight, and then we had a whole conversation about Game of Thrones and how much he likes Game of Thrones. I turned him around on Daenerys' turn in season 8. Thanks, Casterly Talk.
God bless you. God bless you.
Great. But anyway, I was curious if there's anything in your life that when people find out that you are a fan of it, or it's something that you're into or passionate about, like, it surprises them. Because if you were to meet me on the street, I don't think your first thought would be, she's watched Game of Thrones all the way through like a dozen times.
Which speaks to bigger societal issues, right? As you're more aware than even I am. I mean, jokes aside, continues to be the Star Wars prequels. Because if you don't really know me and you hear me or I'm introduced to you in a social setting as, oh, Kenny wrote a book about Star Wars, he's a big Star Wars fan, he has a Star Wars shirt on, or I have a pendant that's his, pin on my jacket that's the Rebel Alliance, blah, blah, blah. And I often, and they're not in the bubble, right? And they're not someone who has any idea. When I go, I was on Collider, they have no idea. They don't know what Force Center is, but they just know I, this white male with a grayish beard, love Star Wars. Their natural assumption is you hate the prequels, right? And when I come back with, no, not only do I not hate them, I love them and actually think they're tremendously important films, particularly the Star Wars story, but also to society if people had paid attention. The reaction is pretty strong. So I think that's not necessarily what you're talking about, but other than that, I don't know. Spice Girls, like there's stuff like that that might come up. But because I'm so in that world, that still is something I run up against a lot.
That's fair. Oh, excuse me.
Like I even had a party at my house, 2019-ish range, maybe. And someone showed up, kind of a former colleague that I wasn't close with, but they showed up. And they walked in and they go, and not even like, oh, nice house. Thanks for having me here. They were like, hold on. I heard you like the prequels. Was the first words they said to me in my goddamn house. And it's like, yeah, what do we go grab a beer? Like, what are we doing? like I'm not doing this here. Grab a tater tot.
Oh, wow.
Like, what are we doing?
Wow, how confrontational. I don't think in my wildest dreams I will ever be that confrontational.
Well, but yeah, see, Eddie, because then they are the kind of the confrontational ones, and I end up like Michael Douglas in Falling Down, going, I'm the asshole? You are completely dismissing my knowledge of this? You're dismissing what I've got to say on it, but I'm the asshole, is usually how I end up reacting.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm very happy that you changed the hearts of one person. That's what tonight's about. Hope and finding areas to resist and get people to like Game of Thrones season 8.
Yeah, it was really funny because he was like, who's your favorite character? And I was like, does it make me a sociopath if I say Daenerys? And he was like, no, but I really didn't like what they did with her in season 8. And I was like, let me tell you something. She was good the whole time. We were just cheering because it was always people we didn't like. And he just sort of looked at me and he was like, oh, I've never thought of it that way. I was like, exactly.
Yeah. And you know where I'm coming from, where I'm about to say this, Eddie. What you're saying is rather simple and on the surface, right? Meaning what I've said too on the shows. We're not digging deep. It's like, that's what was there. That's what was there.
Right.
Did you not pay attention?
You just it's a matter of perspective. Like I said, like she was burning them the whole time. We just got angry when they were innocent people. And we cheered when it was people we didn't like.
And Jared the Tie Pilot's calling in. We got some Game of Thrones talk coming here in a bit too, so I don't want to triple down on Game of Thrones. But it's that whole season 3 thing. I always go to season 3. Now again, you don't have to love everything about season 8. I think season 7 had some bungles. I think even parts of season 6 had some bungles. got it. We can have those conversations. But when you have this either or kind of attitude towards it, season 3 is the key. Season 3 is when Mance Rayder tells Jon Snow, oh, you want to be a hero. Oh, is that what you think you're doing? And that changes everything about Jon Snow's journey from there on out and what he thinks it is to be a hero, where he ends up as a true hero. And with Daenerys, I have this power and I want an army to get what is mine. And then she realizes, I have this power. I want these armies to help others. And not only that, I'm going to stay and help others. And then she starts to get rejected at every step of the way. Her path is in front of her. It is going to be complicated, rocky, and dumb because society's not ready for what a woman is bringing to that world. It's just there. And it all ends in season 8. And it's tragic. And it's dark. And it wasn't happy, happy, joy, joy like you and a Muppet.
Now I want a Muppet.
I think we got to make someone out there get on that. We got to make Addie a Muppet. Turn her into a Muppet.
I knew you were about to ask me. You were going to say, Producer Steve, make Addie a Muppet, but you were like, no, I was. You know I wasn't capable of that. I was. So you even skipped.
I won't. A friend of mine took a photo of me the other night at my comedy show and then texted me with some sort of AI program I'm not familiar with. It turned me into a Muppet.
I was about to say, I'm
pretty
sure
amazing.
There's an app for this.
It was pretty. I got to say, I looked at it and went, that's really cool. God damn it, that's cool. So anyways, all right, we'll do that. Addie, I appreciate you. Enjoy your week off from science, but get back into the ring tomorrow and fight some science, okay?
It's only off of Science News, Ken. I've been doing science through the whole show. My laptop is open.
Crunch your numbers.
I make a
in the background.
I make a damn fine Excel spreadsheet if I do say so myself.
Oh, I know. I believe you, Addie. I saw you post that. You're proud of your Excel sheets. That's not surprising. That's one thing I would not be surprised about. And people who are good at Excel should be boastful, proud, and happy.
The sheet turns so many colors when I put numbers into it. It's
impressive stuff.
Okay,
impressive stuff.
Goodbye.
All right. Thank you, Addie. I love when Steve giggles like a little kid, like a little school children child. And he gets all excited.
Oh, I love Beaker. Beaker's so fun. You do a good Beaker.
I love the Muppets. Okay. Jamie checking in, who's watching on Facebook, but also on YouTube. Random question: forgive to one only. Is it here or the Force Center Patreon? Is it a Star Wars question, Jamie? Send it over to Force Center Patreon, but it's something here. We can talk about it here. There you go. All right. Let us, Steve. You got some sports in a bit. Where are we at?
I mean, we don't have like a structured 16 seconds of sports tonight. There's some sports going on. I mean, we've got finals, so we can talk sports if you want to go sports. I've got sports. There's some sports things going on that we can do, but we don't have any structured shit going on.
Things of sports.
It's June, Ken. There's only a couple things going on.
Oh, so okay. All right, I want to talk to Jared about Game of Thrones, but I just saw that in the last half hour, Israel has attacked Iran. Is that what I'm seeing?
Well, I'm just the producer. I probably should be like checking the news while we're doing things, Ken. But I'm doing like other things. Like, damn, is my sound effect thing going to work when I want to use it? And not, I'm doing the important stuff, dude. Come on.
I just.
And then you're telling me, oh, hey, Steve, World War III just escalated. Like,
I just went over to my email. And I just and I'm like, it's breaking news, and it's like from a half hour ago. So like, well, we're all still here. Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's get some
strikes
joy
targeted against Iran's nuclear program. I'm just gonna give you a quick little producer Steve Bolton update here. This is what we know right now. Strikes in Iran. Israel has launched strikes against Iran early Friday, targeting the nuclear program and its long-range missile capabilities. And an Israeli military official said this is not a one-day attack. Great. Oh, sorry. Oh man, I had news. This is great news music. Dozens of targets, preemptive, precise, combined offensive, says the Israeli official, included dozens of targets across Iran. There was no U.S. involvement or U.S. assistance in the strikes, says Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Tonight, Israel took unilateral action. That's a tough one. Against Iran. We are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region, he said in a statement. Ken, that information is courtesy of CNN.
Wolf Blitzer reported to CNN. Okay, well, all right. Well, let's monitor that one through the night. In the meantime, let's get to some joy. I'm going to bring in Jared from Game of Thrones.
And A-Rod went to the Steelers.
and A-Rod?
Aaron
Alex
Rodgers.
Rodriguez
Not
or
that
Aaron
Aaron,
Rodgers? Yeah.
Jamie pulled it up. Jamie Johnson in the stats said A-Rod to the Steelers makes me laugh. I was like, yeah, that's on the news too. So let's round out our news bulletin with sports. I don't have weather. That doesn't make any sense because we're all in different places. But you know,
two tragedies tonight. Israel attacked Iran's nuclear program, and Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler. Yes, there you go. Oh my God, here we go. All right, let's get Jared the type in here. Jared, how you doing, buddy?
My lord, I'm supposed to follow all this.
he's not wrong.
You are.
And it's not even like a fun episode tonight where like goofy stuff happens.
Whoa!
I'm having fun. I don't know about you guys.
No. I meant the Game of Thrones episode we're on.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Apologies. I'm shutting.
Yeah, look. This is it, man. Like, one of the. I think it was in 1997. I had to go into my radio station and say, "Everyone, breaking news over the wire. I've just received news that after that Princess Diana has succumbed to her injuries and has passed away. Here's Third Eye Blind with Some Charm Kind of Life. Like, you know, we all got to do it. We all got to do it. So, all right.
Yes,
so as we do,
so let's get out of the real world and let's do it.
Let's get out of the real world.
All right.
As he loves to do. Hey, Jared.
Listen, you shush and do your intro.
I gotta clip this out. As he likes to do often and weekly, which is often. Jared is called in with a Game of Thrones question. We are kind of doing our Game of Thrones rewatch, working our way through the end of season 5. Almost right, Jared. Where are we at?
So tonight we got episode 9, famous episode 9's The Dance of Dragons. We got it written by D&D, directed by David Nutter tonight. And we're just going to get right to it. We're going right to it. Your boy Stan is done fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
No, this is that night.
Ouch.
I actually wrote down his last quote to his daughter. Sometimes a person has to choose. Sometimes the world forces his hand. If a man knows what he is and remains true to himself, the choice is no choice at all. He must fulfill his destiny and become who he was meant to be however much it may hate him. Forgive me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So often we come on to this show or Casually Talk where this is going to be clipped out, and I talk about how I do love Stannis Baratheon, how I do feel in season 1 and when we heard his name in season 2 when he shows up, he's not friendly, he's not your buddy, but the Iron Throne is his by right as what we know the truth to be and what Ned believed the truth. And he's not fun at parties. He's not fun at parties. But Stannis, you got to kind of support who he was, and he does what he's told, and he sticks to it, and he completes tasks, and that for me personally, Stannis Baratheon was a character I loved, a character I related to, but also a character I took great lessons from, including his fall, including his death. And I often talk about that, and I want to reiterate that that's the truth to me. But I want to go to this moment, Jared, and reliving this episode. Because we didn't know this, right? Like, this hadn't happened in the books yet. This wasn't, this wasn't where we were heading, right? Like, I don't recall. Yeah, I don't recall that as much.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's gone this way. He's still waiting to fight Ramsay in the book.
He's still, and there's the fake Arya and all the stuff going. There's a lot of stuff going on, right? So when this happened, and I had been on shows, on Screen Junkies, on the Night is Dark podcast with Michelle Boyd, Maude Garrett, and Tiffany Smith, and I had been defending Stannis. And at the end of season 4, Stannis has this home run moment. He's the hero of the day. He shows up, and I'm like, see, I told y'all. I just want to go to that moment, Jared, when I really realized what he was doing, what was going to happen, and how, in true Game of Thrones style, the camera wasn't going to blink and the show wasn't going to blink. That may have been one of my lowest moments in fandom.
Yeah. No, it's definitely like it felt the first time watching it, it feels off when he goes into the tent, but you don't think it's, and then as soon as she starts walking, Oh God, he's about to do it. He is.
Well, his wife backs off of it, right? His wife
when it's
when it's happening. When it's happening.
After Melisandre lights it up.
Yeah, that's right. The flames are already going when his wife's like
the young actress Carrie Ingram did an amazing job. Actually, interesting fact. When I was doing research on this episode, she actually has this poor thing has osteoimperfectia and actually has many fractures. That's what it does. Her bones easily break a lot. Okay. So I can only imagine doing a hard Game of Thrones shoot and trying not to break bones. You know?
Yeah, I didn't know that. And she's got a great voice. It's her singing. They actually released that version of her singing that song in the end credits. Yeah, man. Yeah, I got nothing. Sells it. Yeah, she sells it, and it's perhaps in a show that's built on brutality, and there's a lot of horrible things in the show, and it's not about ranking what is more brutal. But this is the most visceral in a way for me, and again, it's probably my connection to Stannis, and it was we're beyond the, you can't turn around from this, right? You cannot turn around from this, and this was to me one of the big central themes of the show is these choices and these things you do in pursuit of power and pursuit of status, the loss of self. That's what I always talk about, and I know it's kind of almost a repeat, but the loss of self. And man, I gotta tell you, I was with Michelle, Maud, and Tiffany, and a couple of the friends of us watching that, and we had to record everyone in the goddamn room turned to me, Jared. Everyone turned to me like, "You mother, this is your fault. This is your fault." I still have my Stannis Baratheon sigil T-shirt, the Flaming Heart. I still have it. I haven't worn it in years.
Oh God, nope. Yeah, I can only imagine the shit you took for this. Well, because I always loved him as a character, but it was just
I had, because I was because of the time it was, and this is what 2014, 15 range. Season 5's going on. When did it air?
June 7th, 2015.
That's right, June 7th, 2015. You're absolutely right. I was not yet even on Screen Junkies, but it was that era. Like I was on Schmoes, and I had made it my identity. As I do with a lot of things. I'm a guy who's feeding squirrels right now. I go to 7-Eleven. That's part of my online identity. I love Stannis Baratheon. Oh, I never shrunk lower than I did. And Rads in chat says it's the one episode I can't rewatch. I have rewatched it, but much like I still get scared by Large Marge and Pee-wee's Big Adventure 40 years later, and I kind of watch it with one eye closed still, even at my age, because it scared me so much as a kid. I watched that scene with one eye, just maybe I'll go cook some dinner while Stannis is burning his daughter. Oh no! So yeah,
it's just that whole scene. I mean, other than the brutality, that scene's almost a masterclass in acting, cinematography, and not even that, just extras acting. All the soldiers
yes.
All the facial acting from these probably here's a lunch is your payment extras.
Here's a day rate and some free crafty, and that's always been one of the successes of Game of Thrones is the casting from top to bottom was tip top and there. I know. And look, I'll tell you, there's other things that happened this episode I can't even remember because it's all about my guy and his big mistake.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's some stuff in Bravos again. Arya doing her thing. Abandoning the Thin Man to go after some personal stuff, and it's the big fighting pit scene in Marine.
Great stuff.
But,
great stuff.
What I love most about this with the rewatch is none of us catching the not backdoor pilot, but the backdoor pitch pilot in this. What are you reading, Shireen? It's the Dance of Dragons.
Well, because it's also, if you're a House of Dragon fan who hasn't read Fire and Blood, don't go back and rewatch these episodes. And the earlier one with Joffrey in season 2 or 3, that's everything's spoiled. So, but part of the fun. Jared, we'll move on to finishing season 5. Season 5 next time. That's gonna be fun.
Nope. Next week we got Mother's Mercy.
There we go. Oh yeah, shame. All right, thank you, Jared, for calling in, my friend.
Always. Quick update. That's not Game of Thrones. Oilers are up 3-0 in Game 4.
3.
I mean, not. I mean,
game
the Panthers.
four.
The Panthers.
The
Panthers are
Panthers.
up 3-0.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't get false hope. Don't do false hope. All right. Thank you, Jared. We'll talk some sports here right now.
Alrighty.
All right. There you go. Breaking news. Breaking news, Steve. The Florida Panthers, who apparently are good now and have been good for years, are up big in the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Panthers won the last game big. They're up big now. I mean, Jared came in here with saying the Oilers were up 3-0, telling everyone like what the hell is going on now. He's saying the Panthers are up 3-0. I don't know what's going on, Ken. I haven't verified any of this information. I just got
You
it.
haven't? Okay. All right.
No,
let's
I mean
go
I
CBS Sports.
haven't been watching the hockey.
CBS
but
Sports. I only go there because my fantasy baseball team is connected to
the Panthers
CBS.
are up 3-0. It is true. Oh, wow, and that was all in the first period, Ken. There's 20
Really?
minutes left in the second period, and the Panthers are up 3-0. I can verify that.
All right, and Antonio Brown wanted on attempted murder charge. What's going on, TA?
What the hell is going on? What? One day I decided not to do 16 seconds of sports because I'm like, hey, there's not other than the two finals. There's not really a lot going on. Like, and now you're telling me Antonio Brown is wanted for murder. Not to change off that, but as an Eagle fan, it's not the least.
What kind of joy do you get out of Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers?
What kind of joy? I wish that I don't like saying we. I wish that the Eagles played the Steelers again this year because I don't think they do, and the Eagles have really kicked the Steelers' ass the last 2 years. I find that I mean, I don't know if it's like joy in it necessarily. I'm not like one of those dudes that like hates the Steelers. I kind of just like, sure the Steelers are fine. They're good. Like they're historically they're the better team in Pennsylvania, but as a cocky Eagles fan, they've just been better for the last like 10 years. Yeah. So I don't really, I can talk my shit. But but I think it is funny that it was just like so much of it. It was so much the last two people at the bar just were like, I don't want to go home alone. You don't want to go home alone. That's the Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Let's be honest.
Love the one you're with.
That's what happened, Ken.
What else is going on in sports? Any sports going on? I haven't been following baseball. My fantasy team started to suck. We got some injuries. Spencer Strider came back, and he hasn't been Spencer Strider. It's just been not a bit. So I pulled off a little bit of the baseball. Steve.
So baseball's been pretty good. I mean, my Reds are I think at 500 or one game under 500, right around there. But like we said, the Panthers are in the lead in the Stanley Cup final. If they win tonight, I think they'll be up 3-1. And then in the NBA, the Pacers won last night, so that is 2-1 Pacers. And the next game 4, I believe, is tomorrow. Brady might know that. He might correct me in chat on that one, but
I'm sure.
So other than that, those are the two big stories going on in sports. Not a lot of I haven't seen a lot of other big things. I mean, Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers has been a thing for a little while now. But I haven't heard about this Antonio Brown thing. Yeah, Brady says tomorrow. Game is tomorrow for the basketball.
All right. Jared says, fun fact: the Menendez brothers can be seen on Mark Jackson's Knicks basketball card, his rookie card. I know this. I've known this since the Menendez trial, actually, the first one. But on Sports Card ASMR, I famously about 6 months ago opened up a pack of NBA hoops, 1990, pulled out the Jackson rookie, was in my head, I got to put that aside, threw it away, because often when I'm done with a lot of the cards I don't keep, I just throw them in the trash can here. Threw it away, didn't think of it, took that out to the recycling, put it in the recycling, put it out to the curb, and then realized, fuck, that card's selling for $1,000 right now. I threw it away. And it was gone. It was buried. I found it ripped up in the bottom of the trash can.
Oh. Why was it ripped up? What the hell? Why did you rip it up?
Because often I'm done with I got stacks of cards right here. I just got stacks. These are cards that I've opened that have no value. So I'll either cut them or something. I just threw two away. And I just had in my post video, because I got to go edit and I got to transfer the video. I just kind of went, okay, I'm going to throw the cards away. And then a couple days later, it's like,
oh no,
because people were commenting in the video like, oh my God, you pulled the Menendez Jackson. And I was like, oh yeah, I did. Where did I put that? I know I put that somewhere, and I had thrown it away. Going average price, sale price is like $1,000 right now.
Woof.
Woof, indeed.
Man, especially when the Netflix thing came out, I bet that the price in that thing shot right up too.
Yeah, well, this is exactly why. Exactly why. And I just wanted to keep it because I wanted to show Grace, because she's big true crime aficionado and had was watching the Menendez doc and was kind of wanting him to get retried. And I was like, and she knew she had seen in the doc. Did you know there was some sports card? I was gonna be like, and I got it. It was like, no, it was ripped up, dirty, covered with like Pepsi and squirrel piss or something in the bottom of the trash can. I don't know.
No. Speaking of squirrel piss, how are the squirrels?
Squirrels are good. I do apologize. I have 2 videos to cut up. Squirrel update. All the squirrels are good. Both Squirrely and Kylo showed up today. Kylo, what I have to show you all, Kylo is now, when he shows up, knows that dude in house is the thing that feeds me, and I see him occasionally. So Kylo is now regularly going both to the tree that looks into my hallway, or there's a little like garden tool shed thing, and he just waits on there, like literally like a dog standing up to try to look for me. And he just waits there for me to come out and feed him. And it's both adorable and puts a lot of pressure on me. I'm always checking to see. But I have video of it. I have some video of it, and because of what happened with the StreamYard going down today and everything, I still have to finish the Force Center episode. I couldn't cut it. So we'll do a squirrel update later in the week.
All right. All good. Good. We're glad to hear they're doing well.
See, Kyle Harlow says, I can get that Mark Jackson card at Becca Marketplace for $13. Okay, I can get it back in my life. There you go. All right, as we start to get out of here tonight, I'm going to bring this picture back up. And then, all right, I'm warning him right now. I'm going to bring him to the show, but I think he will be on camera. Can I get a thumbs up in the queue that is okay? Let me see your thumbs up clearly, Kyle. That you're okay being on video. Yes, okay. All right.
He's going to be on the couch.
So please, for the love of God, Kyle, put a sock over your junk before I bring this camera up, okay? Okay? Go Red Hot Chili Pepper style. All right, Kingsport Cal, you're here. You're sipping beer. What's going on with this picture you've made here?
Ken, you probably don't remember that.
I remember the moment.
Well, yeah, that was from the first time that I called and got to talk to you. I recalled that night specifically because you was on. That was the first time. I think I talked to you like 2 or 3 times on Smo's No Show. That was the first time. And you and Brett had a conversation, not on the show, but you both had a conversation, and Brett was saying something about you inspired him or something like that.
I inspired Brett? Okay.
Yes, he was talking to you about that. And I didn't know any of this. And then I called you. I called in, and I was talking, and I was like, Ken, I was tripping all over myself. I was like,
that hasn't changed.
Blah, blah. It hasn't changed. And then you straight when I mentioned Johnson City, you straight went into cheddar. And that was all. But I noticed when I said your inspiration to me, Brett hits you on the shoulder like, see, look, you know what I mean? He did, and I remember that.
You're anyway, my inspiration.
I wouldn't go that far. But yeah.
I love that Tully. I've had this said to me before too. I heard Cal get a shout out from Kevin Smith on the last Fat Man Beyond. I've heard heard that from 2 or 3 people. Like, hey, that Cal guy at your show, he was on Kevin Smith's show.
Actually, that's not the first time he's called me out on my comments. Before, I've watched him when it was Fat Man on Batman. He would call
right. Yeah. I know you're a man about town. No, I remember the moment. I don't remember what you're filling in the details. I don't remember the inspiration stuff. And I'm happy to help you. I just, with squirrels, 7-Eleven, whatever it is, Spice Girls. I am an old dad, even though I'm not a dad. I might as well be in a polo shirt and whatever shorts Steve has on right now, because I just get excited when I hear like Johnson City, Tennessee. I want to talk about the red beans and rice I had at Cheddar's. I just get really excited about it.
Well, yeah, man, that's cool. I mean, I love that. That is part of the thing. Let's just be real. I mean, I've always liked you, and I like your demeanor. I like everything you do. But the fact that you knew Johnson City, Tennessee is what took it to the rafters as a sports analogy.
You were like, I like this guy, but then you're like, this dude absolutely knows how to get to the Walmart in Johnson City, Tennessee. I like him. Okay.
And anyway,
okay. That's good. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, Red Beans and Rice is Supreme, the Bomb Bad Cast. Don't you guys have a show to do? Dear God, do your show.
It's not till 10 o'clock Eastern. They got.
I know
they
moved
do
it
for
back.
30 minutes.
They moved it back, and I've been wanting to talk to. Sorry, Cal, just sit here. I've been wanting to talk to Scott or Jerry. I think they did that so they could be on this show more. And all you guys have to do is call in. I want a regular segment where Jerry tries to convince me that aliens are real. Why can't we make this happen?
Yes, and I've told both Scotty and Jerry. I think somewhere on air, I'd love to have them. Yeah, more here, more on backstage, because the time we had Jerry there with Alden was amazing. Love those guys.
We can't pay them
all that we can. Oh no, of course not.
All right,
I'm
Cal,
not getting paid. What the fuck? We're here.
Look, man. You know the downside of that torta cubana I had last night. I ordered it and with gusto, and then they like rang it up. And I got a mango little soda pop with it, and they were like $24, and I was like, well, I don't have that. So I was expecting like 12. So I had to like swipe the credit card. It's tough times. Cal, do you know what I'm talking about? Tough times.
No, Ken, I haven't had tough times in about 5 years. I've been pretty good.
No, that's not true. Cal, you had to say goodbye to a car that was very important.
Oh yeah. Well, it was my mother's car that I got when she died.
Okay.
And but it messed up. I told everybody, because I drove that car for a while, and I told everybody that I will drive it to a stop. And that's exactly what I did, Ken. But it happened. I did it, but it happened to stop in my driveway. So yeah, what?
That was your mama looking out for you.
So it took me a while to get rid of it. I was trying to sell it. But anyway, I finally found a place where I could send it to a junk. We buy junk cars, people, and they came and got it.
Yeah.
And then when they was coming to get it, I realized it was gone. It was leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need my main space. I need my main parking space.
You need some space. But
and on that car a while back on the Blathering, I told you about the bumper sticker, and you asked me to send you. I didn't know how to do it at that time, but I finally did.
Okay.
So I did have that bumper sticker on my car.
You did. I appreciate you, Kyle.
But other than that, what?
Good. All right. That's all I got for you. What do you have for me?
Oh, but other than that, Ken, well, I don't want. Did you people? This is not my question, but I don't know if I want to bring it up real quick. But did you hear about these people getting ghetto on YouTube with these feuds? This one dude got killed.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Over internet feud.
Time out. You're asking me, did I see that some people got ghetto on YouTube and someone got killed? What are you talking about? No.
The Vegas video, that was a feud between this guy named Manny and Finney, something like that. And the Vegas people, whatever. Anyway, one of them
so hold on. Dylan Barry says at the Bellagio? This happened at the Bellagio?
Yes, right outside the Bellagio.
They killed them?
Yeah. Yes, that was an internet feud. They've seen each other one time before that in person. And they had an internet feud online. They made fun of each other. And then the dude seen him out in Vegas, and he shot and killed him and his wife. And it's on the shots fired or on captured live video, because the dude he shot, they were video because of YouTube.
They were streaming.
Anyway, it's insane. It's crazy. But,
what? Yeah. And they had not known each other before? They were just feuding on social media?
They know each other from Adam. It's like me finding you. They didn't know each other at all.
Wait,
it's like
what?
Like me going.
What are you doing?
I'm just saying to give context. It's like me going to LA and meeting you at one of your shows, and then going back home, and then later coming back to LA and see you out at an event and just shoot you. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what
I
happened.
see what you're saying, Cal.
But now I feel a little bit less of an asshole for laughing earlier. Just so thank you for that.
All right.
Anyway.
All right. Well, this is horrible.
Look it up.
I don't want to look at it. That's horrendous. And
It is, man. But that's how crazy people are getting over freaking YouTube and stuff, man. It's insane.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
All this stuff, like I always say this. Internet was created by people well, not mainly by the elder millennials, but my generation. We curated, we helped it grow.
You did.
The internet was supposed to be for everybody to connect and be together and
love,
and share stuff and information, and hope and all that. Okay. And look what has happened. Look what's happened. Not just this one incident. All kinds of idiots.
I got you. Okay. I got you. Do you when I say okay, do you hear that?
No. You know that.
Yeah. All right. Cal, I appreciate you giving me this wonderful story. No, that's sad. That's horrible. I hope they didn't have kids or a dog or anything. That's just terrible.
The dude that died the couple that died had kids.
That's just. Did they catch the other guy?
Yeah, he turned himself in, and he turned himself in 12 hours later, only because a friend told him to. And we don't know because this happened like June 8th or some shit. So we don't know yet what's going to happen. But anyway, regardless of all that, you said you're going to watch Superman.
Oh, now it's the question? Wait, hold on. All this has led to your question? I got to go, Cal. I got to go. What's
this question is very simple. This question is very simple. You said you're going to watch
Hold on. I'm writing that down for Segue of the Year on the Blather Awards. Hold on.
Cal,
Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
12.
you said you're going to watch Superman,
go ahead.
right?
I'm going to watch Superman, yes.
The world is on fire, but you're going to watch Superman. Now, here's my question.
What the fuck is that, Cal? The world's going on? Yeah, the world's on fire. I'm going to watch an art piece about hope because I need hope and I need someone to look up to, Cal. That's what I'm going to watch it for.
They are causing small dumpster fires in LA that we need a National Guard to put out. Anyway.
Yes. The National Guard is here to make sure that one trash can knocked over is okay and those 5 Waymos go to heaven. Okay. All right. So what's your question? Give me your goddamn question, Cal.
Here's a question. Speaking of old times, since I had to put up the meme I made of you. Will we get a Dutch Allen review of Superman?
Yeah, okay. Maybe if I'll make it maybe like a Patreon exclusive or something. How about I do that?
I'll watch it if you do it.
Okay.
I know you love the character, Ken.
I do. I miss Dutch. I miss all of the Saturday Night Napzok characters. I wish I had the time and actually, quite frankly, a laptop to record it with. My MacBook can no longer take recording, so that's how I would do it. But I appreciate that, Cal. All right, Cal, you're gonna go. I love it.
All right.
I love it. Thank you.
See you when I see you.
Okay, do more pictures, okay, Cal? Do more pictures.
Okay, maybe.
Okay.
See you.
Okay, maybe. Okay, there we go. All right, Cal, everybody, Kingsport Cal. I don't know what to do with him, Steve, but I just love it.
There's nothing to do. You just let him go, man. He makes art. It's amazing.
All right, we're almost out of here. I see. We got. Well, let's do one more call. We got Brennan calling in here. Then we'll get out of here. No dinner for me tonight, Steve. No dinner for me tonight. I had the other half of that sandwich today for lunch. Too much. Can I just
a sandwich?
Can I just confess?
Sure, it's your show, Ken.
So, I bought a new belt the other day. My belt, your belts sometimes I usually have 2 or 3 belts, but all 3 of my belts just were ripped. They just look bad. So I go out and buy a new belt. And, I know I've gone up a pant size. I get it. I've gone up a pant size. I'm almost 50. I eat like shit. I don't work out as much as I would like to. My back kills me, blah, 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 blah. So I get the new belt. And I come home, and I had a comedy show Sunday night. I put on the belt, and it didn't fit, Steve. It didn't fit. And that was on the last rung. I had to go get a new belt today, and it was an extra large belt.
New belt? Just get a Phillips head screwdriver.
No,
heat up the tip of it a little bit.
You're not hearing me.
Punch that hole in that baby.
You're not hearing me. There would have been no room to punch the next hole. The belt would not have connected. So I'm really down. I'm really depressed about my shape. And then combined with that, here's one thing that is coming to all of you on the Patreon page. By the way, Hot Burbank Nights 3 is up and available on the Patreon channel. And then you're going to get the comedy press conference. Might already be out. I can't remember. But it's also going to be public. Mark Ellis and I, the comedy press conference is going to be public on YouTube. Then hopefully that will entice some people to come to the Patreon page. One thing that will be coming to the Patreon page soonish, because I got to get some stuff figured. I've got all my old Groundling sketches. I've got them on DVD-R. So thanks to the great Ken Plume, I'm going to be getting him those. He's a great transfer. Like he has all the ability to transfer it and digitize things like that. So he's going to do that for me. When that happens, I'm going to release some of the sketches exclusive to my Patreon page. You'll get to see me do sketches with Kristen Wiig and Mikey Day and Brian Keith Etheridge and Tim Blaney, all these wonderfully talented people. But in doing that, Steve, mind you, the belt is in my head. I've had to get an extra large belt. I was scanning to look for my sketches, and I kept skipping myself because I didn't recognize myself, Steve. I was too thin. I didn't think it was me.
Well, I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say there for you, but
I need a hug. I feel horrible. I feel terrible.
Yeah.
I know it's a natural part of life.
Yeah.
I know I can't be 175 pounds anymore without some extreme tactics. And I went to bed really depressed last night. Really depressed.
Well, look, man, you have to accept that was, as crazy as it sounds, that was a long time ago. It's 2025, and you're a growing boy,
I'm a growing boy,
just like the rest of us.
He had a Cubana. He had a Cubana out in the parking lot.
So,
okay,
it makes me feel better.
There you go. All right, let's. We need some hope on the way out. One more call here. Brennan Mystical Mar calling in, and then we'll get out of here. Hey, Brennan, how you doing, buddy?
Doing.
We'll take it. We'll take the doing.
As things are.
Yeah, indeed, right? But what is on your mind tonight, my friend?
Are you much of the romantic shipper as far as media?
Am I a romantic shipper as far as media? Sometimes. I mean, I am trying to ship me and Amelia Clark, if that's what matters.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean,
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. But in regards to characters, I don't know. Talk to me. Who you got?
Well, I'm not much of the romantic shipper person, but...
Okay.
Sorry, I said but, even though last time I called, I said...
But you're not talking about a specific person. It's a lot.
But, for me, the only romantic couple I was invested in, and maybe for all the wrong reasons, was Dedra and Cyril from Andor. More because they were both so awful, they kind of deserved each other.
Right. And then maybe their unified love would change them, but it really didn't.
And imagine how happy I was.
Wow.
But that's exactly what did happen.
It did happen.
If you could call it romance.
It was romance in their own way. I think it was an interesting comment on intimacy and the lack thereof, or the inability to have it, and as compared to Bix and Cassie.
I mean, in their own sick way, that was their romance. And that's really the only one that I've ever gotten invested in.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't think. Yeah, I've never been a shipper. I have some thoughts on it,
And I have a confession to make about that.
Oh, please confess.
I don't ship what they call wolf red.
I don't know what?
Sabine Red and Shin Hati, I don't ship them.
Oh, Sabine Wren and Shin Hati.
I do not ship them at all.
I don't, but I see it. I don't, but I see it. I don't think it's going to be in the story, but I could see it.
I mean, they're on screen, they fight, that's it. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't really get the shit thing, but hey, it's.
I think there's chemistry between the actors, but also chemistry between the actors off air that people are excited about. Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, good stuff, Brennan.
But as far as a hopeful message here at the end,
yes.
LA is not a war zone.
No.
Everything's just chill.
Yep.
People have the right to protest as long as things don't get out of hand.
Yep. And it's all happening. It's all normal.
You know, use your right to tell them you don't like it.
Yep, and it's something I plan to do on Saturday as well, and we'll do a stream in the evening, I believe, here on Saturday too, to talk about it more. But I agree.
People forget that you are allowed to speak your mind in this country.
We absolutely are.
At least for now.
For now. And that includes
use your voice. That's nice.
Use your voice. No, I agree with you, Brendan, very much so. I appreciate you saying that.
Yep.
All right. Brendan Marr, everybody. Brendan Marr, we're almost out of here, Steve. But is this breaking news?
What now?
Is this
was it Dua Lipa?
Dua Lipa engaged? Is this breaking news too? Jesus,
Ken,
Israel's attacking Iran.
Ken,
Dua Lipa's engaged.
Dude, this has been the hardest night I've ever had as a producer in my life. I've been frantically typing shit. You've seen how many screens I have. They are all open with so many damn. I'm looking at Israel. I'm looking at Dua Lipa. I'm looking at sports. Ken, I'm looking at so many different things. Well, I know I had shit to do today, so I wasn't looking at Dua Lipa during the day. But yeah, now that all this stuff is coming to fruition, Iran or Israel attacks Iran, and then everyone decides, oh, now let's talk about Dua Lipa. What the hell is going on?
As foretold in the Bible, Israel shall strike Iran. The people of God will strike Iran, and Dua Lipa shall be betrothed to a white businessman. It's all happening.
Yeah, Jared is right. Don't tell Alden. Alden is gonna really.
He knows. He's
gonna have a tough time.
He already knows. Who is she engaged to? Callum Turner. I don't even know who the hell this guy is. Who's Callum Turner?
I don't know. He sounds like a very nice man, though.
Well, gosh, what a big Gaga, Dua Lipa. I don't know what to do with myself now, Steve.
Emilia Clarke, Ken. We're still again. You've got your white whale. Yes. I told you I did all I could of 20 minutes of Google searching. Could not find. If anyone can find this, I will gift you a channel membership if you don't already have one. Yeah. A picture of Emilia Clarke with a man wearing a polo shirt, not a button down. A polo shirt, like 3 buttons.
Are you trying to
show me that? It does not exist on the internet. Ken, I looked for it. And under so many different means, it does not exist.
Did you use AI? And then AI will just create it, huh? So in searching for that, is that to give me hope, or if you find one to dash my hope? I don't understand.
Well, no, it was more about when we talked a little bit about this when I was somewhat defending just for the sake of it the polo shirt, and you said Emilia Clarke has never been photographed with a man in a polo shirt, and I took that as a challenge. So
fair enough.
I lost that challenge, Ken. That is the news. I lost that challenge. She has not been photographed with a man in a polo.
We do believe she dated a club DJ, which could be worse. I don't know.
Yeah. Are tank tops worse than polos? I don't think so.
No. I'd rather you show up sleeveless.
If you've got it, flaunt it, right?
Flaunt it. All right. I think that's it. I think that's it. 8984M says, I saw Emilia Clarke rocking a polo shirt. I don't care. That's okay.
Well, that's okay. Yeah. No, let's see.
I bet she looked adorable in it, Brady. Right. I bet she looked all adorable, and she did that thing when she scratched over her face. She's like, she goes, yeah, don't you do it. All right. We had a big full show tonight. A lot of fun. I will be around Saturday night, everybody. We'll do an hour of power on Saturday, though I am trying to get out to a No Kings protest in my area, so we'll see how that goes. And Steve, I appreciate you as always, my friend, as always.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you.
Any backstage blathering stuff planned?
We're not planned yet. Look out for it, though. We're either Friday or something this weekend. We're going to do something this weekend, so keep a lookout. Discord, Blue Sky, all that stuff. There will be backstage this weekend.
That's why if you're listening, should go down to the link description on YouTube, or if you're listening on the audio version, go to YouTube and find Blathering Backstage. Steve holds the court down there. We got some clips and everything. We'll get some from this show as well. Help spread the word of what we do here. That's it. We'll see you next time. Bye.